Subway once looked unstoppable. Tens of thousands of stores, a healthy halo, and a sandwich on every corner. But behind the bright green signs, the business model was quietly turning on itself. This is the rise and fall of Subway, and the one mistake that made the decline feel inevitable. In the 1990s and 2000s, Subway grew through aggressive franchising. It was cheap to open, required little cooking equipment, and the brand promised endless demand. Stores multiplied, sometimes in the same neighborhood, because more locations meant more franchise fees and more royalties. The growth chart looked incredible. And at first, customers loved the consistency, quick service, predictable menus, and a sense that you were making a smarter choice than burgers. But franchise-heavy growth has a hidden limit. You can run out of profitable territory. When there are too many stores, they don't create new customers, they split the same customers. Sales per store drop. Owners cut staffing, cut training, and start buying the cheapest inputs allowed. Service becomes inconsistent. Portions get stingy, and the brand starts to feel tired, even if the logo stays shiny. This is the moment a chain begins living off its past reputation instead of earning a new one. Franchise systems only work when both sides win. When the unit economics break, every decision becomes defensive, and defensive operations are where brands lose their magic. Hold on, here's the nuance. Subway didn't just have too many stores. It had too many stores competing with each other while the menu and in-store experience stayed stuck in time. Meanwhile, fast casual chains raised expectations: better ingredients, better design, better digital ordering, and more transparent nutrition. Subway's advantage in cheap and everywhere stopped being enough. When customers started wanting higher protein, fresher vegetables, and better bread, the "it's fine" experience began feeling like, whoa, why am I here? Franchise systems only work when both sides win. When the unit economics break, every decision becomes defensive. And defensive operations are where brands lose their magic. Then the brand took reputational hits. Controversies and changing consumer tastes chipped away at trust. Health claims became more scrutinized. People started reading labels and calories. The healthy sandwich story got harder to sell when competitors offered fresh bowls, wraps, and high-protein options with clearer nutrition messaging. And when a brand is built on "trust me, this is the better choice," any crack in that trust is expensive. As traffic softened, the incentives inside the system got weird. Corporate earns from royalties and supply relationships, so the machine can keep pushing openings even when individual stores struggle. Some franchisees complained they couldn't make the math work. Stores began closing, and once closures start, they become a signal to customers that the brand is slipping. That feedback loop is brutal. Fewer stores means less convenience, which means fewer customers, which means more closures. Franchise systems only work when both sides win. When the unit economics break, every decision becomes defensive. And defensive operations are where brands lose their magic. You can feel it as a customer. The line is shorter. The staff looks exhausted. The place is a little less clean. Those are not cosmetic problems. Those are business model symptoms. Subway also faced a problem that is almost invisible until it's everywhere: menu sameness. When you've eaten the same sandwich 100 times, the 101st needs a reason. Chains like Chipotle, Panera, and newer fast casual brands offered a sense of customization and freshness that felt modern. Subway tried to respond with new sandwiches and marketing campaigns, but the underlying experience, bread, toppings, speed, atmosphere, still felt like an older era. Franchise systems only work when both sides win. When the unit economics break, every decision becomes defensive, and defensive operations are where brands lose their magic. You can feel it as a customer. The line is shorter, the staff looks exhausted, the place is a little less clean. Those are not cosmetic problems. Those are business model symptoms. And then there's the real estate problem. Subway thrived on being the convenient option. near schools, near offices, inside gas stations, in strip malls. But as consumer behavior shifted, delivery, drive-through, mobile ordering, a lot of those locations stopped being prime. Some stores didn't have the layout for modern pickup flows. Others were competing with other Subway locations down the street. Convenience turned into crowding. Franchise systems only work when both sides win. When the unit economics break, every decision becomes defensive. And defensive operations are where brands lose their magic. You can feel it as a customer. The line is shorter, the staff looks exhausted, the place is a little less clean. Those are not cosmetic problems. Those are business model symptoms. Here's a pattern you see in a lot of fallen brands. They optimize for growth when they should be optimizing for quality. They chase store count, not store health. They treat marketing as a fix for a product problem. They celebrate expansion while ignoring that existing customers are quietly leaving. And because the decline is slow at first, the organization convinces itself it's just a temporary dip. But the market is moving, and the brand isn't. You can feel it as a customer. The line is shorter, the staff looks exhausted, the place is a little less clean. Those are not cosmetic problems. Those are business model symptoms. In hindsight, the villain isn't one bad decision. It's a growth strategy that treats store count like success. It looks great in a press release. It looks brutal on a franchisee's P&L. And when the market shifts toward quality, experience, and convenience, a quantity-first machine cannot turn fast enough. If you flood the map, you eventually drown your own best locations. Subway isn't gone, but the era of effortless dominance is. The lesson is simple. If your growth depends on flooding the map, you're building a castle out of density. Eventually, the moat becomes a traffic jam. Brands don't die overnight. They die when the math stops forgiving them.